Hi, my name is Ruby Ocampo, and for my practicum, I had the privilege to work at Antelope Valley Partners for Health. It's a nonprofit organization which it serves the Antelope Valley population, Ridgecrest, Lancaster, and Palmdale. A little bit about our community. I actually live here, but our community is a rural area, so we have problems with transportation. The majority of people here are, a lot of the people here, I should say, are homeless. So my practicum at Antelope Valley Partners for Health was to help teach and provide healthy foods in pantries for the homeless and subpopulations. First slide. I already talked a little bit about what they do, Antelope Valley Partners for Health, but they engage in nutrition education through churches, parks, schools, communities, anywhere that they're allowed to go into the organization, the community, and advertise for, or not, advertise for healthy, advocate for healthy food choices and for the homeless. Their goal is to improve health in the communities, straighten policy systems and environmental impact, and have sustainability. Next slide. So the purpose of my project was actually to determine whether or not nutrition education would help, whether or not nutrition education and the introduction of healthy foods would help the outcome. We did a survey and we found out that there is quite a bit of people with diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure in the area, obviously, and the most people that are homeless are also obese. So we were trying to figure out how we can help them. Next slide. Sorry. So what we started doing is we did data collection. The first data collection we did was for demographics, for the income sources, health conditions, food insecurities, the availability of food, not only for food storage, for cooking, and for housing. And we did a pre and post test for behavioral checklist just to see that if us teaching them help them in any way understand or make healthier choices in their foods. Next slide. The things that we did accomplish was what we did accomplish is that we provided in our food pantry. So we had a great big food pantry. Our pantry, by the way, is client choice, which means that they don't necessarily have to just get the food. A lot of the traditional food pantries, you get a box of food, anything in there, whether you like it or use it or not. What we try to do is more of a client choice. So if you don't need it or don't know how to use it or don't like it, you don't get it, and you get the stuff that you will use and that you will have more use for. Because here in the Antelope Valley, we are also a food desert, so it kind of helps with food waste as well. But our accomplishments were that we provided nutrition education and food demonstrations. I did a lot of nutrition educations after I received the first batch of surveys, which stated some of them were overweight, most of them were overweight, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart diseases, and I tailored their classes to that and taught them how to eat healthier so that they can obviously not cure it, but prevent it. I also wrote a curriculum for them that's going to be used to help the other interns that come in and continue teaching and helping them be taught. I also help with providing education for further onsets of chronic diseases. So not only did we do the regular nutrition classes on how to read food labels and how to control like diabetes and high blood pressure, but I also did some nutrition classes or health education classes on chronic diseases, anemia, HIV, HIV, hepatitis A, B, and C. And I also did a class on solar cooking and how to store food if you didn't have a refrigerator, which is the case with a lot of our participants. Next slide. When doing this, my recommendation was to help improve nutritional quality of free food and distributions by trying to get more pantries to be a client choice pantry so that they're not forcing people to just get food. Also, we're trying to help the community and help other pantries try and get fresh fruits and vegetables from other local farmers and maybe stores. Instead of throwing them away, they can definitely donate those as well. We want to promote community gardens through the community to include homeless encampments, parks, and housing projects. Antelope Valley Partners for Health has also started to think a little bit more. Part of my curriculum was to start a garden for them, at least to teach them how to grow some. We'll start learning how to do seedlings in the class, and then actually they can take it home if they have a place to put it and plant them there. Or they have opened up a community. They have a house that it's a community house that they will let the homeless and underprivileged go over there and plant their stuff. Also, like I said, we need more help with nutrition education and nutrition efforts geared towards the homeless and the low-income community, including the children. So maybe having more pantries teach nutrition classes and do food demonstrations like the ones that I did really will help them. The reason we did the food demonstration was because we've noticed that there's a lot of people who don't know or eat necessarily some of the fruits and vegetables because they don't know how to cook it. And one of the demonstrations that we did is roasted radishes, and a lot of people thought that radishes was just a garnish. And when we taught them how to cook them and do it as a side dish, because it is in the turnip family, it was a big success. Next slide. Here I have a sample of what I taught them for solar cooking. Basically, it's a cardboard box with aluminum foil, and it also depends on where you locate your box. And to make sure that you get the best sun, it's always better to have it early, mid-afternoon when the sun is extremely hot, because here in the Antelope Valley, we have extreme heats of 112 degrees in the summer. So it would be very helpful for them and beneficial for them to start cooking it at 11 o'clock when the sun is at its best. That is all that I have of the things that I learned in my practicum. That is for my nutrition topics. Is for the fundamental competencies. I selected communication strategies from different audience and sectors. I also communicated the communication audience appropriate public health contents, both in writing and through presentation. I am bilingual, so I did the classes in both English and Spanish, and I distribute nutrition information in both English and Spanish. I also describe the important. I also use the point where it says describe the importance of cultural competency, again, because I was aware of their language, I made sure I geared towards them. And for the health promotion competencies, I use best practices in assessing community and population health needs. Also demonstrated appropriate and effective communication and advocacy skills when interacting with the diverse population. So I enjoyed it so much that I realized that what I wanted to do for the rest of my career was to work for a nonprofit and teach nutrition education and gear it towards the homeless and the underserved. Because I do live in this community, I feel that it's very important for us to continue educating them and helping them with everything. Thank you.